Hello everybody. A free generator left in a scrap. Let's see what is wrong with it. Gasoline, aka petrol. Strainer. Yep, we have fuel. Actually, it looks clean. No rust, no deposit of any kind. The air filter box and the air filter missing. Let's check the oil level. Checked. No smell of gasoline in the oil. Let's fill the carburetor with gas. And while it is flowing in, let's see if the motor is not seized and if we can feel any compression in the cylinder. The crankshaft is turning and there is slight resistance while pulling the cord. That's good. Ignition on. Will it start? Choke. No start. Let's check for the spark. The plug looks a little bit wet, but okay. Ignition part seems to be okay. We have the spark. The spark plug goes back on the engine. Let's see if the gas is flowing to the carburetor. We have some spill. There is hope. With the valve open, no flow. But wait, there is not much of it in the tank. Let's tilt the generator. And now it flows plenty. Let's give it another try. Still no start. We have the fuel, we have the spark. Next suspect is the carburetor. I removed the airbox. Now I must disconnect the fuel line and the throttle linkage. A little bit of fiddling with it and it is disconnected. The carburetor slides off. Seals look okay. This carburetor looks like new, but either it is plugged or we have water in it. Let's take care of it. First, I collect all small stuff. Be ready for some spill undoing this bolt that holds the ball in place and bottoms the main jet inside. It doesn't look bad. Some old fuel deposit, but otherwise looks clean. Nothing nasty crusty that can plug jets. Now I will remove the float. It is held in place by this pin here. The float is equipped with this needle that ends with rubber cone. This cone is part of a valve that regulates the gasoline flow. It must move freely inside the valve opening. Deposit of any kind may restrict its movement. This one looks really clean. The float is not filled with liquid, and it should be like that. Old fuel deposit here, but nothing crazy. The main jet inside looks pressed in. In some other models you can unscrew and press it out for cleaning. The idle circuit jet. This one is really tiny inside and often plugged with dirt, causing no start problem. Gasoline gets into the carburetor this way. The needle on the float closes and opens this passage. This small hollow bolt on the side sucks fuel into the main jet cavity. The main jet brings gas into the Venturi tube inside the carburetor, based on Bernoulli principle and Venturi effect. Airflow pulls gasoline into the Venturi chamber, atomizes it, and this mixture gets into the engine cylinder. Let's get it out for cleaning. To remove the idle control jet, I must first remove this screw that regulates throttle at idle. It is best to count turns and put it back with the same depth when assembling everything back. Time for the idle jet. This one is not regulated, just goes all the way in. Looks plugged. Probably this is the culprit. The main jet opening is big enough to probe and clean it with a wire. The wire goes all the way through. There is no restriction. The idle control jet has a tiny hole. The only wire I could find for this job was on this steel brush. The opening doesn't go all the way through, just into the chamber with tiny holes on the side. The small suction bolt for the main jet. This bolt regulates rich or lean mixture. We should put it back precisely as it is set on the carburetor. Therefore, I measure how far it protrudes and I will put it back keeping this distance. You can also count turns. And it is out. Cleanup time. When you spray carburetor cleaner into an opening, pay attention if it goes through and gets out at the other end. This bolt here is for draining fuel from the carburetor. It is useful when you prepare the motor for storage. It is wise to drain the fuel for storage, but who does it? And therefore you can see from time to time small engine machinery at the side of the road for free pickup. Ultrasonic cleaner, if you have one. If not, many times carb cleaner, wire and compressed air is enough. Now, rinsing detergent with carb cleaner and passing compressed air. The main jet sucker goes back. The idle control jet. All the way in. The throttle at idle set screw. The air-fuel mixture screw. The rubber seal goes back to its place. I removed it for cleaning. The float. Gentle. Set. Empty carburetor. The float is hanging down. The valve is open. Fuel flows in. The carburetor fills with fuel. The float goes up and the valve is closed for the fuel. The fuel level drops and the valve opens again. The ball goes on in a way that we will have access to the drain screw. The seal and the bolt holding the ball and closing the main jet at the bottom. Now I will get rid of this old gasoline and rinse the tank. Fresh gas. The carburetor goes back on its place. The throttle linkage. Set. The airbox. The fuel line. Now a temporary filter. They say it's effective in catching viruses. Then it will catch dust for sure. Gasoline. I check if the seals are holding. It is dry. Ignition. Choke. And it runs. And we have power.